I can't buy the air I breathe. I can't buy the trees. I can't buy the deepest seas. But it don't matter, 'cause they're there for free.
Hello and welcome to Around the World in 88 Tales. I'm David Heathfield. I'm at the Royal Albert Memorial Museum in Exeter. And for this special story share, we are with Giorgiana in Romania. Hi, Giorgiana.
Hello, David. Thank you very much for having me in your beautiful, wonderful project. I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, thank you, and it's just wonderful. We've met through the World Storytelling Cafe, and then you did a course with me, and it's just a joy. You're just bringing Romanian culture, and not just Romanian stories, I know, but a lot of Romanian stories to the world. It's a role that you're playing so beautifully. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself as a storyteller, Giorgiana?
Yes, well, of course, I'm a professional actress. I've started from 2008, and I've been working in a professional drama theater in my hometown. As you live in your town and you love your town, I love my town, which is Arad, and it's on the western side of Romania, very close to the border with Hungary. So we are the west side of Romania, a very western side of Romania, and I've been working here for 5 years in the big theater, but I discovered the storytelling and doing both actress, but also storytelling. I started to get more and more in love with storytelling. And I've been around the world. I started in 2012 in Iran's festival, Canoon Festival. And then because of that experience and finding how wonderful people are that are working with stories, I decided to quit the job as a professional actress working in a theater, and I've started to be actress and storyteller on my own way. And since then, well, that's been 9 years now that I've been telling stories. We also started in Romania in Arad festival, international festival. It's actually the first storytelling festival that has been happening for 9 years, 10 years now in Romania. And it's based here in Arad. And I'm the manager, artistic manager of it, will also be my friend, Mihaela Blaga. She's a librarian and also storyteller. We started this together. But then again, I started also to work with children, with teenagers, with students, with adults, and with elders, telling stories all over. I've been invited to, and I started to spread this to give life to this art of storytelling, to this job that has died a little bit in Romania. It's not that we didn't have before this.
Well, the tradition is
beautiful.
so rich in
Yes,
Romania.
it is because of communism. They said no to the shezătoare, which means the gathering, the traditional gathering, and have this kind of carpets and people at the village dress like this. It's a traditional costume, and people, women work and seal and do a lot of carpets like this and clothes like this one, which is called iye, and the men would tell jokes and stories, so they would be the storytellers. But because in the communism they said no, they abolished it. They said this is the way to do something against the state. And then because of that, there were no this kind of gatherings. So the art of storytelling has died. But other people, like great collectors and authors like Petre Ispirescu, collected these stories
Fantastic.
100 and some years ago. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to retell stories, Romanian stories, my own stories. And of course, for 4 years now already, we started into the words workshop, it's called, Atelier de Cuvinte in Romanian, with Ioana Popescu. She's my manager and the brain of everything that I'm doing now.
Wonderful.
And we started to do a lot of classes and webinars and all kind of a way to grow this art of storytelling, of course, first of all into the teachers' work. So that's what I'm
Fantastic.
doing now.
Georgiana, I just love the energy and the range of things you're doing, and the festival in Romania really, really special. Let's tell some stories. And our artifact, I'm very excited today to share with you an artifact that's very local to my city, to Exeter. It's this wyvern. And a wyvern is a kind of dragon. And let me tell you a little bit about this wyvern. It's actually a weathervane. So it stood at the east gate to the city of Exeter. And we're not sure exactly how old it is. It could be 300-400 years old, made of copper. And you can see that it's a winged creature. There are no legs on this wyvern, but the wyvern in the English tradition or the British tradition usually has 2 legs, while the dragon has 4 legs. But it's a kind of dragon. It's flying. You can see its long tail. It's got the wings, forked tongue, and this wyvern is flat. It's a sheet of copper, and it's painted as well. You can see yellow paint or golden paint, but apparently it was only painted, maybe we think, for the Jubilee of Queen Victoria at the end of the 19th century. So before that it may have been plain copper with perhaps some gold on it. But it was when there was rebuilding done, the wyvern was taken down and was decided it was too delicate, so now it's in the museum, and the museum actually made a replacement copper wyvern, which now stands in the same place by the Iron Bridge in Exeter. So the wyvern is still there for everybody to see in public, but this old one is in the museum. So it's a very exciting artifact. And of course there are dragon stories all over the UK in the different parts of the British Isles. There are dragon stories all over Europe, but also in many different cultures. And I'm actually going to jump far away to China, to the Yao people of the south of China, to tell you one of my favourite dragon stories, but it comes all the way from China. So, without waiting any further, I'm going to tell you the story of the magic pipe. There lived, long, long ago, a girl and her mother. The girl was called Miss Red. Why? Because she always wore red clothes from top to bottom. They were poor. They lived at the bottom of Dragon Mountain. At the bottom of the mountain they had a little land which they farmed, but their land produced very little rice, very few vegetables. The life was hard. One day when mother and daughter were working in the field at the bottom of the mountain, the clouds grew dark above, and they heard a great rumbling and a crashing of thunder. And there appeared beneath the clouds a terrible dragon. The dragon had sharp claws, scaly skin. The dragon had huge red eyes and a single horn on its head. The dragon flew down lower and lower and snatched Miss Red from her mother and carried her high into the clouds. And as she watched, her mother heard her daughter's voice calling, "Oh mother, as dear as can be, my brother will rescue me." "What?" said her mother as her daughter vanished into the mountains. "How can she have a brother when I have no son?" The storm continued, and as she walked home, the wind blew her mother's long grey hair so it twisted in the branches of a tree. The mother climbed into the tree to untangle her long hair, and there in the tree she found a small red berry, and without thinking she swallowed it. When she got home, the mother gave birth to a little baby boy. He was round-faced and red, and she called him Bayberry, like the berry from the tree. Within 3 days, that baby had grown into a strong young man. He worked hard for his mother in the fields. But one day, while Bayberry was working in the fields, a crow flew down and landed next to him. Oh, brother! Oh, brother! Your sister's up there. She's trapped in the wicked dragon's lair. And the crow flew away. Well, Bayberry, when he got home, he told his mother, "Have I got a sister? I didn't tell you, my son. I feared that you would be lost if you went to the dragon. Mother, I am strong. I will climb Dragon Mountain. I will find and bring back my sister, Miss Red." She couldn't stop him. The brave boy set off up the mountain. He climbed higher and higher, but halfway up the mountain, where the clouds covered the top, he found a great rock blocking his way. He couldn't go round it, so he put his shoulder to that boulder and he pushed with all his strength. And because he was so strong, the boulder began to move, rolling and crashing down the side of the mountain. There, in the pit left, in that hole, he saw a pipe. The pipe was surrounded by crawling creatures, worms, spiders, centipedes. He put the pipe to his lips and began to blow. And strange, as he blew, all of the little crawling creatures rose up on their tails or back legs and began to sway as if enchanted by the magic pipe. Bayberry had an idea. He took the pipe with him and continued to climb the mountain. Now he reached the top. There was a pool of clear water. He went round the pool and then he heard the sound of the dragon. He hid behind a rock. The dragon was lashing its tail towards a girl dressed in red. She was hacking rock from the cliff face. And the dragon said, Miss Red, make me a cave, or I will send you to your grave." Poor Miss Red was working so hard, but brave Bayberry jumped out from behind the rock and said, oh monster, let my sister go, or on my pipe I'll blow and I'll blow." But the dragon laughed. The boy took the pipe and began to play, and do you know what happened? Of course, that dragon rose up on its long tail and began to sway, enchanted by the strange and magic pipe. Oh, brother, you are the stronger. I'll let Miss Red go if you blow no longer, cried the dragon. The boy led the dragon away from the cave towards the pool. And when he got to the pool, the dragon danced and then sank into the water. And little bubbles popped on the surface. Bayberry called for Miss Red, and together, brother and sister made their way down the mountain. They went further and further down. They came to the pit where he had found the pipe. But at that moment, the clouds grew black, and that monstrous dragon appeared again. The The dragon had come out from the pool and was reaching with its long sharp claws, its eyes redder than before, was about to snatch Miss Red away again. But Miss Red took the pipe from her brother and said, oh monster, you've had your last chance. Get ready to dance, your very last dance." And Miss Red put the pipe to her lips, and she began to play. The dragon could do nothing but dance on its tail. Miss Red led the dragon up the mountain with her brother. Up and up they came and back to the pool. She passed the pipe to her brother, and now he began to play. First brother, then sister, then brother. They played faster and faster and faster. For 7 days and 7 nights they played, and the dragon was dancing so fast, the dragon was exhausted. The dragon fell dead, drowning into the water. Brother and sister pulled the dragon from the water. They skinned the dragon and carried the skin and the dragon's horn down with them along with the pipe. And when they reached the bottom of Dragon Mountain, there was their mother. "My son and my daughter, you're safe. You are back with me." Together, from that dragon skin, they made themselves a new house, a beautiful house. And from the dragon's horn, they made a ploughshare so that they could plough their land. And when they ploughed their land with that magic dragon horn, they grew so much, so plentiful were their crops and their rice. Oh, they had enough not just for themselves, but to share with all of the community around them. This is the story from the Yao people of China of the magic pipe.
Wonderful, really wonderful.
That's one of my very favourite dragon stories, but there are so many wonderful dragon stories. That's inspired by the Exeter Wyvern today. But I could tell you a local dragon story, but I chose a Chinese one. So, I can see there are people joining us in the chat. And thank you very much for joining us, Atelier de. Oh, that's you. That's you from Romania, and Tammy's here from Exeter, and there'll be many more people listening in. So, I'm going to ask you, Giorgiana, have you got a story to tell us today?
Well, of course I have one, and I was thinking about how many similarities there are between your story and the story I will tell, and how the same stories travel around the world. And this is a beautiful part of the story that unites people wherever they are from. So this is a story that it's a folk story, but it's my version of it. As I said before, Petre Ispirescu, or if you want, Petre Ispirescu, he was a very known author, but also collector of stories. And the funny part is that he always, as you or as me, whereas he was born in Bucharest and he lived all his life in Bucharest, never left Bucharest. Just one time in a little trip to see his daughter, where she got hired as a teacher. But then he came back and he died in Bucharest. But he heard a lot of stories from the suburbs of Bucharest. And you see, it's a big city, of course, but still so many beautiful stories had grown around there. So one of these stories called Greuceanu, which it's complicated to explain in English, but would be like the strongest man, or like the heaviest man, because greu means heavy. And Greuceanu, it's the name, but it's complicated, as Arian before, something like that. It's in Romanian too. So just imagine a very strong hero, or Romanian, beautiful, handsome, of course, smart, wise man. And he is Greuceanu. So this story was collected in 1876. And from there until now, all little Romanians know this story. It's something like in the book, it's the ABC of our story. You have to learn it and you have to know it. So you have to first just, shake a little bit and breathe in and breathe out and concentrate. And so once upon a time, there used to live a very known and loved emperor, and his name was Red Emperor. And while he was ruling, something really bad happened. It is said that some dragons that in Romanian are called zmei, or one dragon, zmeu. And this zmei, three of them, just stole the sun and the moon. And people were so, so sad. No light, nowhere to see, nowhere to go, and everybody was crying. Of course, Red Emperor said, please, please find a hero, somebody who could bring them back. And of course, a lot of heroes tried, but if they couldn't succeed, they had to be killed. So it's one way or another. And he said, I will give you, said the emperor, half of my kingdom, and of course, my beautiful daughter as your wife. Just succeeded one way or another. And one day, Greuceanu heard this, and he saw two men that were about to be killed because they could not succeed. And he felt so much pain, so sorry for them. And he said, I have to rescue these people. And he went further at the emperor and said, please, because he had his words with him. And he said, Your Majesty, you are so wise. You are so good with everybody. You rule the things the right way. Think about it. If you kill these two people, you have two people less in your people in your country. So these two, if they leave, they will love you more. They will admire you more. They will serve you more. And of course, if everybody sees that you are good and you give their lives back, then they will love you more. So many arguments about letting them leave. And he said, oh, Greuceanu, you have the words with you. okay, you convinced me, but you have to try too. Yes, I want to. I said, if God will help me to make you give these people their lives back, then I will try too. And if I'm not good enough, yes, if you're not good enough and you will not bring the sun and the moon back, then you have to die. And Greuceanu said, yes, with God's will, I'll do that. So he first went with his brother again. He brought his brother with him, and they went along, and they went to hermit, a very old monk, Orthodox monk, and they started for 3 days to pray day and night and to talk about how to find this zmei and how to get back the sun and the moon. And the hermit gave them some very good advices. So they left, and at one point in their road, Greuceanu said, brother, you have to stay here. I cannot let you go further because it's too dangerous. It's my turn now. Thank you. Just stay here and pray for me, okay? And then he went along further and further in the woods, in the mountains, hills, a lot of countries he crossed around. And at one point, he found the house of the dragons, of Zmei. And inside, the three women, Zmeuaicele, the women dragons, they were talking about where they hide the sun and the moon. So Greuceanu turned around 1, 2 times, 3 times, and he transformed himself into a little mosquito. Got inside and heard that they were hiding it in a very big chest in the heart of the woods. And very, very close by, there's a bridge. And the 3 dragons, their husbands, will come back late at night from work. So went out, turned around 1, 2, 3 times, and he went and hid beneath the bridge. And the first dragon, well, I have to tell you, in Romanian, Zmei, he's a little bit of an ogre, a little bit of a dragon. Sometimes he's really mean and strong and very hideous. Sometimes he's really stupid. So I just have a little bit some image just to, if I can share with you, if it's okay. I have 3 images that I like to share with you, because these are very old images of the Zmei from Romanian storytelling books, folk tales. So this way you can see how it is, if I have the chance, David. So he, first of all, he hid himself beneath the bridge, and the first Zmei was coming towards his house on his horse. And the horse said, and he stopped. And the Zmei said, "What's wrong? What's wrong, horsey? Are you afraid of something?" "I'm not afraid of anything." "Well, just a little bit about, I'm not afraid of Greuceanu, but just a little bit, and I can kill him too. I feel some human flesh. I smell, he's good, he's around here." And then Greuceanu, hop, said, "I'm here, you Zmeule. Come on, you want to fight?" And the dragon said, "Yeah, I want to fight." So he decided to fight. And the dragon grabbed Greuceanu and just buried him until his knees in the ground. But then Greuceanu also got him, and he dragged him and buried him until his head, and chopped his head. And then he dragged the corpse, put it in beneath the bridge, and also he hid there. And then after a while, the second brother came, and the second ogre, or Zmeu, or if you want to call him dragon, he said, "What's wrong, horsey? Why are you scared? I'm not scared of anything." "It's just a mosquito. I'm not afraid of anything, or just a little bit of Greuceanu. But anyway, I can kill him too. I smell something. Human flesh. Oh, and there he was. Greuceanu said, "Hello, you Zmeule. Come on here. You want to fight?" "Yes, I want to fight." So then the Zmeu grabbed Greuceanu and buried him until his chest. But also Greuceanu, he was stronger, and he grabbed the Zmeu and he just buried him until his neck and chopped his head. And then again, he got the corpse, put it beneath the bridge, and again hide there. And then after a while, the third dragon, Zmeu, came by, and he was the wickedest. He was so mean, and he was, of course, the head of the gang, of Zmei, of the dragons. What's happening here? I feel something. Something's not normal. Something's like human. If I smell, that means I don't have COVID. That's good. And so, okay, something's wrong here. Stop, horsey. I said, "Who's there?" And Greuceanu said, "I'm here. I'm just a human, but I can kill you first." Greuceanu said, yeah, just stop with that figures, okay? Just start fighting. Okay, you just stop there and just start fighting. I'm starting. Yeah, good. Okay, are you finished with your exercise? Oh yeah. Okay, so then after a lot of exercise that the Zmeu did, Greuceanu grabbed him and just started to fight with him. And both of them were so strong. They fought all day long. And then at one point, they were so tired. Both of them. The fight was not over. And then a crow flew around. And both of them saw the crow. And then first, the Zmeu said, "Hey, crow, just bring me a little bit of sweet water in your beak, and then I will have the strength enough to kill Greuceanu, and I will give you one human corpse and his horse corpse." But then again, Greuceanu said, "Wait, crow, think about it. If you just bring me some sweet water, just some little drops to give me strength enough to kill him, I will give you 3 corpses of dragons and their horses." And of course, he won. So he got the sweet water. But also, before he killed the Zmeu, he said, "First, you tell me where is the key? Where is the key so I can open the chest and bring back the sun and the moon?" And said, "It's my little finger." And he got. So he had the little finger. And of course, the 3 corpses of the Zmeu of dismay, there were now a prize for the crow. And he came back and he found the chest in the heart of the forest, and he opened, and again, it was light all day and light all night, thanks to Greuceanu. But the story goes further and further until, of course, he lives happily ever after with his beautiful wife, the princess, and rich with half of the kingdom. But I have to stop here and tell you something. We know about this little finger, but it said that Romanians always, instead of using, violence, they just use their little finger. And when somebody's mean to them, they just start to tinkle them. And the laughters always bring up joy, and everybody now are happy. So this is something very unique about Romanians. They always make a lot of fun. And of course, this way they go further and further being happy. Și am mâncare ca pe oșa și v-am spus povestea așa. Uipa!
Wonderful. Can you just say that again?
Și am mâncare ca pe oșa și v-am spus povestea așa. Uipa!
Fantastic. I love hearing the Romanian language. What does it mean?
It means I jump on a horse. Sha is the what do you call it? The you put on the horse so you can jump. Yeah, and then and I told you the story this way, but these two words, this way, and the sha, it's sha and asha. It's a rhyme, so that's why we use it. So things that you go jump on your horse and you go further and you leave the story with the person that heard it.
Brilliant.
And the uiha, it's my version. It's a Romanian usual thing to
story ending.
Yeah. At the end of a song or something. So I just put it there because it's nice.
Giorgiana, you talked at the end about bringing fun, and you entertained us so much with this traditional Romanian story. It's absolutely fantastic, and just a little taste of that rich Romanian culture and wonderful folklore that you've brought us today, with some little bits of modern twists in there as well. So it's fantastic. Giorgiana, thank you so much for joining us for Around the World in 88 Tales from your home in Romania. And wow, what a fantastic, not just the story, but everything, the language, the backdrop, the clothes. You've taken us into your culture. It's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
The trees, I can't buy the deepest seas, but it don't matter, 'cause they're there for free.